Hey all, Heretic here, and today in the Battlegrounds, we're going to do something different. We're going to be looking at some AI designed cards and see if given the correct prompts, it can give us anything good. So these cards were designed by a third party, and what I am reacting to is simply the text of the card. There's going to be no assets or anything beyond the text. What you are going to see is art I used using AI to design it by saying prompts, say this card in the style of Hearthstone, using Google's Gemini software. This AI is pretty damn good at kicking out artwork, especially. Now, I believe Gemini is what was used also to make the prompts. Could be GPT. I don't want to give credit where, it might not be due. But myself, I used Gemini, and all I did was say, hey, in the style of Hearthstone, make this for me. Now, the cards themselves, I used HearthCards.net. Now, this is HearthCards Customer Cards Maker. This has been around for a while. It's a really cool site. I will put it in the description below, a link, so you can take a look at it, maybe make some of your own cards. You can look through, see what other people have made. But let me give you an example of what we're going to be doing. Now, I made this card myself completely just as a template to see how it would look so I can give you the breakdown before I start reacting live. So in my example here, I asked Gemini to give me a funny Muloc Hearthstone Battlegrounds card. And this is what it gave me. Now, not the artwork, just the thing here. It said, Muloc Mime, good start. Whenever you play a Muloc, silence another random on the board, even your own. Oh, okay, so it is funny. It's bad. You're gonna silence a random minion, which means since it's in your shop phase, it's gonna silence something in the shop or on your board. It's gonna lose all abilities and just be its stat line. There's not many good use cases for that. I mean, there could be some cheesy stuff you could do, but more or less, this card is pretty funnily bad. Now, for the art, I said, okay, give me a Muloc Mime in the style of Hearthstone Battlegrounds, and this is what it gave me, which I thought was kind of a perfect fit. It always gives you like 2 to 4 choices, but this one was the best by far, so I threw this one into the Hearthstone Card Maker, and I was pretty happy with the results. So this is just me not putting any funny any real good prompts or anything, just saying, hey, make me a Muloc. And I mean, I gotta say, other than the art being a little off because his crest is a little weird, pretty goddamn good. I mean, I'm really impressed. So let's jump in and react to the cards live as they were made by the third party and see if it really holds up. Do they feel like real cards, or do they feel just stupid? All right, so let's take a look at this. We're gonna start with Professor Amal. Now, Professor Amal is this 3 gold, discover a neutral minion and give it +1/+1. I mean, 3 gold is just the cost of a card, but it's a discover. If it's probably the usual rules, limited to your tavern tier and lower. That could be interesting. There's not that many neutral cards in each tier, and you really could find some good stuff. I mean, obviously at high tier, we have things like Bran, Nala, Rendell the Redeemer. I mean, this could be really, it seems like you could build a really good, menagerie board with the stuff you'd find with this. Just basically go into it. Like, if I was given this, and depending on the tribes, I would be like, ooh, I am gonna play a spell, just generic mess if I can. And I am just gonna try to discover all the spell people and then get all the spell stuff that buff spells and just has tier get better at that. I mean, if I hit a brand, that's fine. I can still discover more stuff. I can cycle more buffs. This would be, I don't think this is broken by any stretch. I think this seems like a real thing they would do. And it's not something silly like give all your neutral minions +1/+1. It's just discover a neutral. It's not discover a neutral from a tavern tier higher or something powerful. It's just discover a neutral. I think Professor Amal's pretty goddamn good, to be honest with you. It's probably like a tier 3-4 hero. It's not amazing, but I mean, I would like to get some I actually would like to get some games in with Professor Amal and see how they run. So what I understand from the next minion, they asked for a minion that would work in a Professor Amal type build, and this is what they got. The tier 3/3/3 Amalgam Assembler. At the end of your turn, give your neutral minions on your board. I think it's not too odd. It doesn't say neutral minions everywhere +1/+1. I mean, if it was like end of your turn, buff all neutral minions wherever they are, +1/+1, this might be pretty goddamn amazing. That being said, I mean, it's an end of turn effect, so you could stack things with it. It's pretty good. Again, it's not insane by any stretch. It's probably the weaker of the two, but if you're discovering enough neutral minions, and since it's a neutral minion with Professor Amal, you could summon this, get a copy of this going. Kind of good. It would buff itself too. I mean, okay. I mean, I gotta give the AI credit right now. So far, it looks pretty damn good. Just throwing some prompts in and seeing what it gives you. All right, next we have tier 314. Forgemaster Coggswell is a mech. Whenever a friendly mech dies, gain +1 attack permanently. I mean, he's a mech, so you can magnetize things to him. So you can give him Divine Shield. You can give him all that good stuff. Over time, he will get quite big. He's a 1/4 at tier 3, which seems small, but if you have any other mechs, he's gonna have more attack probably before he swings. I don't think this is horrible. This feels like it could fit right now in a mech board. You could put this down, you could go to tier 3, and you could take something out and just throw this in. I mean, at tier 3, we have a Quartertron and we have Deflectobot. So I don't think I want to lose either of them for Forgemaster Coggswell. But I mean, if one's gotta go, wouldn't hate Forgemaster at all. I could see him definitely fitting on a board. I mean, it's one of those things where you want to play it out, but damn, that's pretty good. Next, we have tier 544 Pirate Grog the Gambler. Battlecry, cast a random tavern spell of tier 5 or lower. So it's a battle cry, so right off the bat, you have Bran, you can Rylak it, you could Young Murkai it, cast a spell randomly, so you have no idea what it's going to target. It could taunt the worst thing for you, it could give the best buffs in the world, it could make something in the shop golden, and that's not going to help you because it's not going to be there next turn, even if the shop's frozen. Typically when you do something like that where you change a card, it unfreezes. So if it's a trigger from an end of turn thing, you're not going to get a real value out of it. But still, as a battle cry with a brand, this I kind of like this. It kind of seems like it would be a good ogre, like, because it's a random effect. Ogres traditionally in regular Hearthstone are random, their targets and what they do, and sometimes they're really good and sometimes they're just utter crap. Kind of fits. I mean, we already have just tier 5 discover a spell, but tier 5 just cast a spell 5 or lower. Probably not as good. It probably could go even at tier 4 since it's not a discover, it's just a cast, and we already have something that casts on 5. I mean, something that discovers on 5, but it still feels good. And if it's an ogre, I like the random nature of it. This could be, once again, I don't think this one is good compared to the other ones, but at the same time, I can see potential. Like, whatever prompt they used to get this, they just asked it for, it gave a card that seems incredibly close to a real card. All right. Next, we have tier 4, 3/4 Naga, Naz'ari the Coral Sculptor. Spellcraft, give a minion, deal 1 damage to attacking minions before they deal oh my. Okay, so it's a spellcraft, so you can give it to anything you want. They're going to deal 1 damage before they take damage. So that means if you're being attacked by something with, say, Divine Shield, you're going to pop that shield beforehand. Oh my, if you give it to something with like a poison venom, if they don't have a shield, they're dead before they hit. They do have a shield, they're still dead because it's going to pop their shield and then they're going to, oh my. I mean, you know what? Tier 4, it might not be too bad. It's probably too good, right? It could probably be a 5 or just a 6 for the crazy utility value of it. But this is still like, this could be a thing. This could be a spell, a spellcraft that I feel could be in the game and would totally fit and be fun. Also frustrating as hell, depending which end of the corals you're on the end of, I'm guessing. I don't know what the spellcraft is called, but I'm assuming it's something coral related because coral is spiky and really hurts and can cut you easy. So that would make sense. Kind of dig this too. This has some potential. Okay, next we have tier 2 Pack Spirits. It's a 2/2 beast. Death Rattle, trigger the death rattle of all other friendly minions that died this game. Okay, AI definitely missed on this one. Tier 2 Trigger all the death rattles of all the death rattle, not rattles. Friendly mini that died this game? Oh my god. So, how many death rattles triggered during the game for you? And they all have to trigger when it dies. Oh my. So don't even bother reborning this thing. There's never going to be room on the board for it. But if you have Goldrins at all, and you can get more than like 2-3 turns, the hell would you even have a Titus on the board or a Hawkstrider? This thing is still a monster. This thing should be tier 9. This is, hey, beasts win. Welcome to the beast meta. Everyone play beasts. Everyone get pack spirits in any damn death rattle you can get. Doesn't even have to be a beast one. Just take them all. Oh my god, this is an F. This is a horribly balanced card that would never work. It kind of, you look at it at first and you're like, oh wait, well it's N'Zoth, right? You're like, it's getting all the death rattles. I'm like, not the ones that died this combat. This game, holy crap. All right, next we have a tier 7 Spirit of the Tsunami, a 10/10 elemental. At the end of your turn, gain +5/+5 for each elemental you control. I mean, this seems kind of real. Yeah, it's a tier 7, so you're not getting it till later. It's going to grow if you have 7 elementals on the board, 35 a turn, which sounds crazy, but then remember it's a tier 7, so you're not getting it till later traditionally. And ultimately, it is just a bid stat stick. It has no abilities. Unless you, say, triple it with a elemental of surprise, in which case it's got a divine shield and it's an absolute monster, but it's a tier 7. How often do you triple them? But still, I mean, I feel like this is actually kind of cool. It's not as strong ability-wise as some of the tier 7s. And when you compare it to something like Papa Bear, it's just better. Kind of like Spirit of the Tsunami. I wouldn't hate of this being in. Next, we have a quest reward, the Portal of Power. Tier 7 minions will be in the shop once you reach tier 6. Oh, okay. I mean, there's a lot of minions in the pool at that point, so you're not going to see many. Like, this could just be a trap reward, because I'm assuming it's going to be very hard to complete. And if you've ever rolled looking for a specific tier 5 or 6 minion, you know how hard it is to find it. If you add all of that plus tier 7 minions, you're going to have a really hard time getting it. Now, mind you, with Evolve and things like that, there's definitely ways you can target them out. Now, with the spell meta, that would make it easier to get them. But still, if this one was balanced right for difficulty to complete, you wouldn't be completing this till at least turn like 9 or 10, I would have to say. Like, maybe even like build in a requirement, say, I don't care, you know, does it little in parentheses, I don't care how the hell you complete me, you don't get this till turn 10. That would be fine with me, because tier 7 minions at tier 6 is kind of strong, but at the same time, not insane. I mean, I like it. I'd want to play test it, and I know we have jokes about play testing in this game, but I would really like to play test it out and see how viable it actually is. All right, next we have some spells. Let's take a look at them. We have the tier 5 gold, so expensive, Echoes of the Past. Choose one minion. Whenever you trigger a death rattle effect, gain a copy of the triggered minion and place it to the right of the chosen minion. Okay. First, at least it doesn't say gain a copy in your hand of the minion. Please no. Tier 12, no, not tier 5. But still to the right of it, that means that if you have, I don't know, just a couple, there's going to be multiples of these in the shop. So if you can start casting this as like a permanent enchantment, I mean, maybe if it was a 1-turn enchantment, it wouldn't be bad. Like, this was a spell you cast and then it was gone. But if this is a permanent death rattle, it kind of gains, or just ability it gains, that every time a death rattle dies, you get a copy and you get the right minion. That could be insane. Let's say you have 2 reborn taunted Goldrins, and then to the right of it, you have, you know, 2 mechanized, or just 1 mechanized gift horse with this spell cast on it. Goldrin dies, you get an extra gift horse. The Goldrin attacks, dies again, get an extra gift horse. They attack the other taunted Goldrin, you get a gift horse. That Goldrin that comes back reborn attacks, you get a, no. I mean, eventually it would run out of space, but at tier 5, this is way too good. I don't think I need playtesting to know this one sounds broken at launch. I feel like you put this in, we all look at it and go, that's a dumpster fire. You should remove that. And they go, no, 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 no. It's going to be fine. And then after 2 days, they're like, the whole servers, they're all dumpster fires of beast garbage or just any death rattles, just anything. I think beasts come to mind, but I'm sure there's lots of other, God, like, Jesus Christ, this could be horrific. There's so many death rattles that it would just be busted. All right, we've got one last one. We're gonna dive in. Let's take a look and see what the very last spell it gave us. Supposedly this one was a big one. They asked for something crazy. So a tier 6, 10 gold demonic investment. Okay. This costs health instead of gold. So wow, Soul Rewinder, please, 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 please. I mean, if I see this in the shop and it's good, I would buy the Soul Rewinder, buy the spell, not care. Double your gold this turn. At the beginning of your next turn, set your gold to 0. I don't know if this is broken or not. I mean, yes, obviously, if you're playing Trade Prince Gallywix and you have 30 gold, doubling it to 60 is unnecessary. You have a lot of gold. You have 15, 20, and you're setting it to 30, 40, and you're not a hero like that. That could be a crazy turn. But then the following turn, you have no gold. So if it's like, let's say it's you're playing board X against a gigantic Muloc board, and you just, doesn't matter how big you are, you'd have one turn. This is basically the pivot spell, where you are going to have double the gold, and I go all or nothing. I kind of like this. And if you don't have Soul Rewinder and you still can have this spell in, it's 10 health. So as long as you have 11 health, if this is your all or nothing play, I kind of like the Hail Mary of it. Like, we're just going for it. It's like, screw it. This game's done one way or the other. I am going to play demonic investment and I am going to go for this. But the big issue would be when you get this, right? So if you find this on at the end of your turn when you have 1 gold left, does it double your starting gold, or does it double the gold where you're at right then and there? Because at that point it's useless. But even if you went down to like 0 gold, just as it was there, and you could buy it, and then it would just give you your starting gold over essentially again, that would be fine. And just knowing that essentially you're dead the following turn, I mean, I don't know. It's one of those ones where I'd really like to play it out, but I really think the AI gave an interesting one with this. What do you think, folks? Were the AI ones good? Were they horrible? Are these interesting? I kind of like these. I kind of think the prompts they use really helped. And hey, Blizzard, I mean, I don't think you need AI to design your cards. I think you need my friend. You need to contact me so you can get a hold of my friend so they can hook you up with the prompts they use, or just pick their brain for ideas, because obviously the prompts they use were giving them really good stuff to work with. I mean, they know their shit. They play a lot of Battlegrounds. It wouldn't shock me if they knew and had some really good ideas on how to make the game better. But holy crap, these are cool. I like this a lot. I want to do this again. I did this once in the past. It made some funny stuff. I'll give a link to that video where it made some ridiculous mech that did like 60 damage to the board when we were first using it on ChatGPT way back in the day. And it was all over the place, but it was funny as hell too. So thanks for watching all. Please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Do you like these? Is this an interesting change of pace from the usual news/guides thing? Just trying to do something different. I've been busy for the last few days and I wanted to kick up something fun before we jump back into the usual stuff. Thanks for watching all. I really do appreciate it. If you like this, please like, subscribe, all that good stuff, because it does help the channel grow. It helps us, get closer to where Blizzard actually considers us a content creator, which is 5,000 subs. And they'll actually maybe invite us to the creator program. It'd be nice. Thanks for watching all. I appreciate it. I'll catch you next time. Later.